Hello, Internet. Welcome to Yam Theory, the only Internet Yam Talk for podcasts by podcast. I'm your host, A Pod.
And I'm quitting. That was fucking awful. I can't walk out of my own house. Get out of here, you playing bitch.
Thank you for joining us for episode 5 of Yam Talk.
Did you say you're a pod or you're a cast?
I said I'm a pod.
And I'm a cast, and welcome to Yam Theory.
The only Internet Yam Theory, where we theorize
Yam
several...
lovers.
That too.
By Yam lovers.
Yep. I am your host.
This is what it feels
Maddie
like.
B. Raps.
This is what it feels like to dissociate people. If you're neurotypical and you don't understand like the struggles that we go through as the mentally ill, this is what it feels like. Don't do it.
That was easy.
He did it.
That was easy.
He did it twice. If you do it a third time, I'm gonna poke you.
That was easy.
It's okay.
That was easy.
That was accidental that time.
Welcome.
Give me the poker.
Okay.
You can have the gun.
Are you gonna poke me? Oh, okay.
Yep. So, hi. He just shot the microphone with a Nerf gun.
Shot all of our viewers at once.
Oh, jeez, all 7 of them.
Okay.
Hi, and welcome to episode 5 of Yam
The
Talk.
5th episode. That's halfway to 10.
Yeah, and then 10 will be halfway to 20, and then 20 will be
Yeah,
20% of 100.
35.
Where'd you get 35 from? You know, we've come a long way. We have 7 subscribers on YouTube now.
Where do they come from?
I don't know. Well, okay.
One of them is...
Both of them are us.
Yeah.
We have 2 subscribers. For sure.
Who are the other... Is Taylor subscribed?
I don't think... No. Because I don't know if she knows they're on YouTube yet. So we're not putting the podcasts on SoundCloud anymore.
Oh, yeah,
we are now putting them on YouTube.
They fucking gypped us because I don't have the money to pay like $8 million a month. And that's a flat rate of $8 million.
Well, more like $8, but...
$8 million a month.
So apparently you can only upload 3 hours of recording onto SoundCloud.
Yeah, that's something I just learned.
So now we're just going to put all of them on YouTube.
Yeah. And I mean, you know, YouTube is my home. I've been on YouTube since like 2007. That's 11 years if my math is correct, which 80% correctly it is. But YouTube is my home and I'm used to it. I know how it works. I know that I'll never be YouTube famous, so I can just say anything I want, right?
I don't like black cats because they're black. Anyway,
Actually, in Japan, they believe that black cats are good luck. That's probably not right.
You know what? That's probably why they got me. Never mind.
That's probably why they call them Nevermind is right. You should... Oh, no.
Oh, no, not Lloyd Fungus.
We gotta tell Lloyd that we're doing Yam
Lloyd
Talk.
Fungus on Discord.
What if Lloyd Fungus was our 3rd guest and he just showed up 20 minutes from now?
So how about they just put the aquatic update for Minecraft?
Who cares?
You did, apparently.
Well, not enough to talk about it on Yam Talk.
I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, we doing Yam Talk. Well, you could play Minecraft while we do Yam Talk.
Yeah, but what entertainment is that? I feel like something even more boring than watching somebody play Minecraft is just listening to them play Minecraft.
Does Lloyd Fungus listen to the podcast?
I don't know.
Oh.
He'll tell me if he does.
Okay.
But listen, this is weird because now I'm the one in the red chair.
Oh, yes, we've switched chairs because I
Yeah.
hate sitting in the pod chair.
You hate sitting in the pod chair?
Yes.
Why?
Because it's so low to the ground.
Oh, whatever.
I feel superior up here.
You just don't like being a peasant.
Shut the fuck up.
Larry asked who's the special guest.
Oh,
I'm
that's
going to
Larry?
tell him. Yeah.
Oh.
No.
It's a spitting image of him. I don't know how I didn't know.
Yeah, he's very mushroomish.
Well,
Where's the fucking anarchy? Okay, I found it.
So, what's going on? It's been a while, man. What's happening?
Well, actually, to be honest, I haven't done much of anything since the last podcast, but you went to Warped.
I did. I I went to Warped Tour in Pittsburgh. Well, outside Pittsburgh, technically in Brigettestown. This is the very last Warped Tour.
Really?
Yeah, they're not doing anymore. The owner of it just didn't want to do it anymore, I guess.
Oh.
So this is the very last year they're doing Warped Tour. And it was a lot of fun. It was hot as shit. I read on the news that 100 people had to get medical attention due to like heat-related
Dude,
type shit.
It's TanaCon again.
Oh no, not TanaCon. Here's the thing about TanaCon is I know it happened, and I know something bad happened there, but I have no idea what happened or what TanaCon even
She
is.
sold too many tickets. The hotel that she had the event at could only hold 1,000 people, and like 4,000 people were there.
Oh, is this Tana Mongoose?
Yeah, it's Tana Mongoose.
Tana Mongoose. I watched the iDubbbz content cop on her because she said bad words. Oh no.
Word on the street is though that you were in a mosh pit.
I was in a mosh pit. There were a couple bands there. One was a ska punk band called Real Big Fish. They did a ska punk cover of Take On Me, and
pretty fantastic.
it was amazing. So yeah, I was down in the pit right in front of them because they were at like the main stage, and I was in a pit, in front of them. And then for the very last song, they did a song called Beer, and it just breaks into this like one gigantic solo or whatever, and like everybody just started moshing. It was so much fun. I had such a great time. I got slapped around by so many big sweaty dudes. It sounds like your kind of get up, honestly.
Yeah, I wish we could have switched bodies that day.
It was hot as shit. You would have got sunburn though.
Oh yeah, you're right.
There were only like 3 scents you could smell the entire time, that being pot, sweat, and sunscreen, because there were so many pasty white people there getting sunburn. It wasn't even funny. They literally had a stand solely where you could buy sunscreen at.
Sunburn and stone.
But because of my natural passionate Latino lover genes, I'm resistant to things like sunlight, and
and that's good for you.
Yeah.
But for the rest of us, we go to Giant Eagle at night and we get sunburn. And that's the ugly truth.
The widest of the department stores.
They're 24 hours.
Are they?
Yeah, the one on Belmont. I went to the one on Belmont and got pot stickers at like
I don't think the Boardman one is.
3 a.m. Probably not. The Austintown one isn't either, but the one on Belmont is.
Yeah. But yeah, Warped Tour was a lot of fun. I really like when you go to Warped Tour, you don't go to see the band as much as you do just to experience it, but I was really excited to see 2 bands in particular, those being Sum 41 and Bowling for Soup, which Bowling for Soup didn't go last year when I went, which was really disappointing. And my friend knew they weren't going to be there, but she didn't tell me they weren't going to be there. So, go there to find out. It was horrible. But this year they were there, but Sum 41 wasn't, which I was really disappointed by, but I was also in the pit right in front of the band for Bowling for Soup, and that was a lot of fun too. They threw a blow up doll into the crowd and started like crowd surfing the blow up doll. Her name was Susan.
Okay, Susan.
Yeah, they called her Susan. It was great. I got kicked in the head by like 9 different crowd surfers. It was fantastic. It was pretty bad at one point though. There was this like one girl who was like really drunk, and like. Oh, it was bad because like she was wearing like those jean skirts, and she went crowd surfing. And she didn't wear her underoos that day.
She had a baby.
She didn't wear her underoos that day, so then she like spread her legs, and then like Pandora's box like flew everywhere. It was bad.
Oh no.
It was real ugly. Everybody was like, "Oh!" And it was funny too because you could see some of the guys, their eyes just went wide, like,
Oh my god.
It was bad.
These need to get laid.
It was funny too because you could see like all the workers at the Warped Tour, like they were so depressed. They hated being there so much.
Well, yeah, I can imagine. Like especially security guards and shit, they can't have any fun. They just have to stand there.
I watched this one chick get punched right in the nose by this one drunk guy. That was a lot of fun. I went to the Simple Plan one. And I started off in the back, and there were like these 2 middle-aged redneck white moms just beating the shit out of each other. It was great.
That sounds like my childhood.
I'm sorry.
I feel like I would have been right at home.
There was like this one couple who like brought their kid to Warped Tour.
Like how young?
Like probably had to have been like 10.
Not a good idea.
And they're up in the pit for the Bowling for Soup one. It was bad.
Don't do
And the
that,
kid was just
people.
like, "It's really hot, Mom." And she's like, "You could go sit down in the stands. We're staying here." So the child could have gotten like abducted or whatever.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun.
Dude, there's so many people, and at Warped Tour you wouldn't notice if your kid got kidnapped.
Yeah, you don't
Nobody
know.
would.
Like at Warped Tour, stuff just happens, man.
I can imagine someone
Like-
would hear a kid screaming and they go, "Oh, that's Warped Tour."
Yeah.
Like he's getting dragged away.
Or like there are a lot of people who are like when they get pushed into you or whatever, they're like sorry, but like honestly, you're gonna be like rubbing up against a lot of sweaty people at Warped Tour. That's honestly should just be expected when you buy your ticket to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was a lot of fun. The car ride there was long. I went with like friends from work, and like most of the ride wasn't even a ride. It was sitting in the line of cars going into the KeyBank Pavilion.
Oh.
We sat in the road for an hour just waiting to get in. But we were blasting a lot of great music. Runaway by Carly Rae Jepsen. I was
Run
blasting
away
that.
with me.
I was blasting the
What
the
a great song.
Moscow song, the Russian one.
I don't know that one.
It goes Moscow, Moscow. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
Ah, jeez, I'm gonna play it so this podcast has some
Has
musical
some
accompaniment.
musical appreciation.
Yes. So yeah, overall, Warped Tour was just... I had so much fun. It was extremely hot. I made friends with this drunk Irish guy.
No way.
Yeah, it was so much fun. Because, like, I was waiting in the line. Oh, I'll talk about the prices of stuff later. But, like, I was waiting in line to get food or whatever. And it was hot as shit. It was right after Real Big Fish had played. And I couldn't stand being in the pit any longer because I thought I was going to pass out. And so, like, this drunk Irish guy comes up behind me waiting in line. He's like, oh, it's a scorcher today, isn't it? And I'm like, shit, man, it sure it is. And we just started talking. He was like, how old are you? And I'm like, 18. He's like, oh, you look older. And then we just keep talking and talking. He's like, so what are your college plans? And I'm like telling this guy like all my college plans and stuff. He was a lot of fun. He was a great guy.
Not to stereotype, but dude was probably drunk
He
off
was
his ass.
Probably drunk, yeah. But he was just such a nice guy. We had so much fun. And then I paid $21 for a gyro and a bottle of soda.
Jesus Christ! If you go to the Greek Fest downtown, they will give you a gyro. Like
That's the.
you go high.
Like you walk up to the gate, he's like, how much are tickets? Oh, you don't need tickets. They just throw gyro in your bag.
Yeah. There you go. Enjoy.
Yeah, they were hardcore trying to like jip money out of you.
I can imagine.
Okay, so a 33-ounce bottle of water, that's like slightly bigger than just a regular bottle, cost $8.
Are you fucking kidding
But
me?
here's the thing. Here's the real kicker.
Is this the apocalypse?
They take the water bottle, they unscrew the lid and throw the lid away, then give you the bottle. So it's like to incentivize you to buy another bottle of water. They were trying like real hard to.
Well, it's the last
pull
Warped
money out of
Tour,
you.
so it's like,
Yeah.
who gives a shit?
It was
gotta
fucking
get
wild.
those
This is
sales.
the Moscow song I was referring to. I'll skip a little bit ahead to get to the famous part.
Hi, and welcome to Yamtalk, Russian Spy Edition.
You don't know this song?
No, I've never
What?
heard it.
Dude,
Sorry.
this is one of the greatest songs ever made.
Sorry.
Whatever, man. You're just not a real fan.
Hey, can we turn Yamtalk into a number station?
Yeah.
1.
11.
9, 1.
96.
1.
41.
1.
97.
1.
11.
21.
Yams.
Guns.
12.
Lay down
Homecoming.
your...
Dick.
Wait, we should do a thing where we try to make a story. Okay, I have an idea. So we went to Pittsburgh, right?
Well, yeah, we went to Pittsburgh.
Oh, wait, I have an idea.
Okay.
We went to Pittsburgh with Trash Raccoon the other day. How about we try to describe the Pittsburgh experience, doing one word at a time, back and forth.
Okay.
All right, I'll start. We
Went
to
a
town
called
Pittsburgh.
and
It
was
located
in
Pennsylvania.
and
Pennsylvania.
his
A
state
in
Pennsylvania. Let's not do this.
Okay.
We went to Pennsylvania. We did go to Pennsylvania.
We did go that's not a lie.
Me, Adam, and Trash Raccoon Bitch, guest star in our last episode,
Yeah.
all went to Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
And
All right, so we'll start from the beginning. I did not wake up on time.
okay, I'll tell this story because it was pretty great.
Yeah.
So we kept I got up at 8 in the morning, took a shower, got all dressed and whatever, and showed up at this bitch's house because we were all meeting at his house, and then we were going to get in my car and go to Pittsburgh. So, I park in his front lawn like I always do, and I see Trash Raccoon's bitch's blueberry car also parked in the front lawn, and I see her sitting in there, and so I get out, she gets out, and we're like, well, where's Adam? So I knock on his window. So then first I lightly tapped, then I knocked, then I threw a rock through the window, and absolutely no response. So then we both tried calling him, and got no response. I
picked up yours.
When I called, he ended up like answering, and I'm like, come let us in or whatever. He didn't believe we were here.
I didn't.
He thought we were joking. So we're standing out the front door for like ever, and he finally opens the door, and you can blatantly tell he just woke up.
I did. Yeah, and then I said, hello, welcome to my home. John Michael, how are you paying for the damages after the rock you threw through my window? And you said...
Alexa, play Despacito.
And then Alexa played Despacito. But still, I was bleeding from the back of my head because the rock actually hit Don't Do It.
As soon as I let go of this button, it's going to go off.
That's how that button works. You're right.
So anyway, we went to Pittsburgh.
Anyways, what happened was, we left...
That was easy.
Fuck. We had left 20 minutes late because I was like, no, I need to shower. Like, this needs to happen. So I got in the shower and I was like, I'm ready, boys and girls. So then we left for Pittsburgh, but we went to Sheetz first, and then we ate there, and then we went to Pittsburgh. The first thing we did, I think, was...
drive around for 45 minutes trying to find a parking spot.
This is the problem with every city in the entire world, and I finally experienced it firsthand as
basically
a growing young man.
Summary is that we cannot enjoy Pittsburgh because there's nowhere to park in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I guess we're
unless
just
you
want to
pay $20 to park for an hour.
$14 for a fucking hour at that one place. You could not convince me. You could not pay me to pay. You could not pay me the amount of money that it would take to park there. I just disrespect it. I disrespect the idea. People have enough money.
Yeah.
But anyways,
we did go to the mattress factory.
It was fucking weird.
I actually kind of enjoyed it. There was a lot of stupid shit, but I enjoyed the experience overall.
I'm glad you did.
So the Mattress Factory is like this modern art museum. It's like 3 different buildings. First off, that was one challenge, was figuring out which fucking building we were supposed to go to.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think we literally went to the last 2 before we went to the actual first building.
We got told by 16 different people where to go, and we were still like, where do we go?
We finally made our way to the correct building, bought our tickets to get in. And so the first floor was like... it was like a bunch of plants and shit.
Yeah.
And
well, that
then,
was the 5th floor.
The first floor we went on.
Yeah.
We started from the top and worked our way down.
Yeah.
So the first floor had like plants and shit, and then like broken tables that I almost broke, and a bunch of shoes.
Yeah.
Here's the thing about modern art. The artist thinks it has a meaning, but the viewer, depending on how pretentious they are, also think it has a meaning. Or you could be like us and just laugh at the fact that here's a shoe on a table. This is called modern art.
I felt so out of place because the room was so quiet, but there was like 12 people in there.
Well, not the first one we went into.
Well, yeah, there was
we'll get to that one in a second.
Yeah.
And it was funny too because like there was one where it was like a table with a bunch of chairs around it, and I couldn't tell if it was like just a table with chairs around it or if it was supposed to be an exhibit.
Yeah, I was like, are we allowed to sit here? Like, my legs are kind of tired, but can you touch it is the question.
That's the real question. So then we went to the next floor, and that was the naked people floor.
That
the
was
naked,
the one...
mutilated people floor, which is the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. It was literally just a bunch of, like, crude paintings of, like, nude genitalia that looked like they'd been stitched together. And then also this, like, there was that one room with, like, the mutilated fat lady in there or whatever.
Yeah, do you mean the, like, goth as hell room? Like
yeah, that one.
I actually
that everybody was gathered around.
I kind of dig that one.
Okay, but it was still part of that exhibit.
Well, yeah.
But it was funny, too, because there were so many people in there, like, walking around genuinely interested. And as soon as I entered the room, the very first thing out of my mouth was, that's a really small penis. And, like, all these people were, like, observing the art. It's like, it makes such a statement about our insecurities.
I want to say that it was a study of anatomy, but at the same time, there's people out there that will look at it and take it so seriously.
Like, that's the reason people think modern art is fucking stupid. It's because of dumb shit like that.
I was I was floored at how many people were in there and how silent it was. I was like, this isn't church. Church isn't even this quiet. It was strange.
Yeah.
And like the quietness made me quiet and it made me scared because we were kind of laughing as we walked by things and I was like, oh no, someone's about to shoot me at look.
And then there was another floor that just, like, it had a couple, like, more, like, just generic modern art stuff. It had a gift shop. But there was also the mirror room we went into, which, that was pretty cool.
That was my favorite part.
Yeah, and it was really cool, because, like, it's just this dark room with mirrors or whatever, and it's, like, dark ultraviolet lights or whatever. So it's, like, you look around, there's, like, a billion of you because of the mirrors, and that's really cool. But because I've talked to some people who've, like, never... or who've gone there before, like my one friend Sam I work with, she was telling me about the mirror room. What she didn't know was there was that second mirror room with the man. There's a second room in that mirror room. If you open up one of the panels, it's another mirror room, but this one's like regularly lit, but it has like polka dots and mannequins all over the place.
I wonder if I saved that video because
I wonder if I don't know if I did too either.
I took one, but like no, I don't think I did because that's like the Pittsburgh. Yeah, no, I didn't. Sad face.
Yeah, so that was, I really like that. And then the next floor, I think was probably my favorite-ish. Wait. Yeah, which was the dark, completely pitch black one.
Yeah.
It was really cool. We'll get to that guy in a second.
Yeah.
It was really cool because we walked into one room. And if you, like, actually plan on going here, then, like, spoiler alert, because it's really cool to find out for yourself. But we walked into this one room, right? And it looked like there was just this blue projector on the wall or whatever. So we're, like, we're just walking around, just standing there, staring at this, like, blue projector. That was extremely loud.
Whoopsie. Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Continue.
Did your mom just yell?
No.
I thought I heard her.
Yeah, you're hearing shit. You're paranoid.
Is that an Avenged Sevenfold CD?
Yeah, I'm looking for my melodrama one. I think I put it in the wrong disc.
Anyway.
Found it. Sorry.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Anyway, so it was like this blue projected screen on the wall. And like, you know, Trash Raccoon Bitch and Adam were just like standing there. And I'm like walking closer because I want to break everything in this building. And I'm like,
you'll die.
And I'm just looking in and I'm like, maybe it's one of those things where if you stare at it long enough, something changes or whatever. So I'm like staring at it and I go to touch the projection and my arm goes through it and I'm like, what? And I realized it wasn't a projection. It was a hole in the wall that led into another room that was like completely lit blue. It was so fucking cool.
That sounds like it was a magical experience for you.
It really was. Because I was the one that discovered it, man. Neither one of you did. I did.
Well, I don't know, because I just thought it was a projector, and I was like, is this, like, the perfect shade of blue or something? It was more like indigo.
But if you actually, you would feel different if you were the one to walk up and put your hand through it and realize it was a different room.
I bet.
And then we walked, and then the other part of that was like a echo chamber. We walked through this like completely pitch black hallway with like absolutely no sensory. Like we had no idea where the hell we were going. And then we get to it, and I turn on my flashlight once we like get to it, and it's just a giant echo chamber. And it was really funny because there was like group of teenage girls
like
who
6
walked
other
in
people.
afterwards, and we were like, we're just gonna sit here and not move and be completely quiet, so we scared the shit out of them. But they had their flashlights on the entire time anyway, so they kind of ruined our surprise.
And we were like, whoopsie. But then, because there was like 9 of us combined and we were all fucking around and making noise, this Chad comes down and he's like, he yells at us and he went, "This is not a fun house. Please be respectful of the other guests." But the only people on the floor were the people that were being jackasses. So I don't know who he was talking about.
Yeah, we were literally the only people on the floor.
Yeah.
Us and those like group of 6 girls who were extremely loud. Oh.
And then we got in the elevator.
Oh Jesus. No, it was so bad because Yeah, so this guy goes bitchy. So, like, we're getting on the elevator or whatever. He goes to yell at the girls, and I'm standing there, like, praying to God that the elevator hurries up and get there so we can, like, get on the elevator and leave before he gets back to go on with us.
It didn't.
So we're literally standing in front of the elevator with the guy waiting for it to come up. And then he's real awkwardly like, you guys can still talk, just don't be, like,
And
obnoxious.
then I thought, no, you can't take that back. You were a bitch once. If you step down now, you look weak. You might as well go all the way.
And then we all got in the elevator together, and it was such an awkward experience. And that was it for the first building. It kind of just goes downhill after that. The second building was kind of cool. It had like
No, it was a fucking serial killer's house. That was.
it was literally looked like a jigsaw trap.
That was Buffalo Bill's.
All that like
fucking
it was like a
attic.
bunch of like wooden miniatures or whatever. It was 3 floors of it, and at the very top was like this piano playing.
Yeah.
And I swear to God, there was gonna be like a serial killer
It
or
was
something.
too warm in there too, man. It was hot.
So yeah, that's all that one was. And then the last building had a couple different stuff. There was one where it was like it was just a dark room, and there was like a projection of like a dancing lady
Oh yeah.
that we started playing Despacito. So she started dancing to
She
Despacito.
was beautiful.
There was a room with like a bunch of wheelbarrows and rocks in it with like headphones sticking out. It was dumb. There was a room with just a giant ball in it, like that big circular thing, the sphere. You remember what I'm talking about?
No.
It was dumb.
There were people listening to Dirt. Like they had headphones plugged into Dirt.
Yeah, and they were listening. It was pretty funny.
There was like 5 people standing there solemnly, like their faces were not changed. Like we walked into the room and they showed no signs of
This
stimulus.
is the sound of dirt.
Like they didn't even.
Well, no,
look.
I ended up putting the headphones on. It was like a Japanese
Yeah.
guy talking.
Oh, is that what Dirt sounds like? Is that what gardeners go through?
Yeah.
Sun Tzu was like, wait, no, was
Sun
he
Tzu
Chinese?
was Chinese, I'm pretty
Chinese.
sure.
Well, how do you know who it was? I mean, not Sun Tzu, but how do you know who the guy in the dirt was?
Because he was speaking Japanese.
How do you know what Japanese
I'm
is
fluent in
offhand?
Japanese.
Say a Japanese sentence right now.
Wataro doki doki literature club.
Damn, I'm impressed. Was that your segue into it?
No, my segue was
Oh,
going to
I'm
be the
sorry.
yam theory. Well, no, it's too late now. It was going to be the game theory thing because after I played Doki Doki Literature Club, I ended up like watching all of Matt Pat's game theories on it because I wondered like what the hell was even
Dude,
going
he probably
on.
wasn't gonna tell you anything new. Like the game explained everything.
Well, it kind of did, but like he made a lot of connections, and it's actually like kind of a prequel to another game, and it was actually kind of interesting.
I'm looking.
I'm
up our Yam
embarrassed
facts.
to say that
Sorry.
because game theory is fucking trash. He sent a copy of Undertale to the Pope.
Oh god, that made internet history.
He's done like 15 different theories on Five Nights at Freddy's.
That's so sad.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I like Matt Pat. I respect him.
I mean, I'm
and
sure he's a nice guy. It's
I-
just his content I think is so stupid.
I watched his Until Dawn playthrough though, because I didn't have a PS4 and I couldn't play it. So
I love Until Dawn.
I loved it too.
I watched a play because I don't have a PS4 either. I'm trying to get one before August's over.
A PS4.
Yeah, I'm getting a PS4 Pro because I
Wow.
really want to play Last of Us 2 because that looks so good and the first one was so good. But no, I watched a playthrough of Until Dawn, but it wasn't with any commentary. It was just the game, which I think is the best way to watch it.
Yeah, I was gonna do that with Watch Dogs, and I was like, Watch Dogs 2.
Okay, I was about to say you don't want to watch Watch Dogs
Because
1.
the characters looked really funny.
I played Watch Dogs 1. It was rough. It's such a boring game.
Yeah, way too overhyped.
And the guy's just like, the main character is so fucking dull. He's just like, me,
I am a hacker.
I'm a hacker man.
I am hacker man.
I've got to avenge the death of my niece.
I'm in the mainframe.
I'm in the mainframe.
Dude, can I read the Yam fact?
Yes.
It's
Yam fact for today, 29 minutes in, is...
It's a short one. The annual world production of yams is over 30 million tons.
That's a lot of yams.
Yeah, if you think about it. I'm pretty sure there were more copies of Watch Dogs sold than yams sold.
I'm pretty sure there's been more yams sold in the entire history of the world
Well,
than there have been copies of
Duh,
Watch Dogs.
bitch. Watch Dogs hasn't been around as long as yams.
Sorry.
And you can't eat Watch Dogs.
You can.
Well, you
it's just
can.
not advised.
Nutritionally, it's not worth it. But if you have no other way to get rid of it, like if no one wants to buy it, then
Fine.
And-
So, Adam, you ever hear of the game Doki Doki Literature Club?
I have, and I played it.
It's fucking horrible.
It's what do you fucking mean?
I hate that game with a burning passion.
I thought it was fun.
I finally played Doki Doki Literature Club for the first time ever.
You're a man
And
now.
I had been putting it off so long because it is a anime dating sim. And if there are ever 3 words to turn me off from something, it's anime dating sim. Yeah.
I played it in one sitting.
So did I, because it's like literally a couple hours long. Well, so let me explain my experience.
Well, sorry, go ahead. I was gonna say, I actually read it and comprehended the words.
So did I, until the second day when they started going on more about cookies and I was ready to commit suicide.
I did it
just
all
like
3
the
days.
fucking, whatever her name was, Naitsuki.
Natsuki?
No, that was the annoying one.
Sayori?
Which one? No,
Yuri?
Sayori is the friend, right? Is your
Yeah.
friend. Okay, so I'm going to talk about, here's my experience.
Monica?
This game
Or Monica?
Shut up.
Or
This game,
Monica?
shut up.
Or Monica? or
Okay, so Doki Doki Literature
Monica?
Club came out like a year ago, and it got a lot of traction because it was like it started
they
out
had
as
rubber soles.
it started out
and they
as
were grooved,
like a
and they
normal.
could grab
You shut
onto
up.
surfaces easily,
It started out
like
as
linoleum.
just like here's like this anime dating sim, and like a lot of people were into that for some reason.
Gee,
And
I wonder why. Do you think anyone actually sits there and jerks off to their computer like at an anime girl? That was a dumb question. Of course they do. Sorry.
Let me just start off by saying I hate anime with a burning passion.
Like all anime?
Okay.
Have you watched Cowboy Bebop? I feel like you like that one.
Yes, I have.
Okay,
Cowboy Bebop. I'll tell you the anime I think is good. Cowboy Bebop's really good.
Sorry.
Akira's really good.
I need to watch that.
Akira is really good. Death Note,
Yes.
with the exception of
Oh, yeah, you've
any
seen
scene involving Misa, because she's annoying as shit. She's basically an anime trope, and I hate her.
Well, you gotta put it.
And then
somewhere.
the Miyazaki movies. Any other anime, I just can't stand it. There's so many tropes I hate. The animation style it's always like it's nice, sure, but it's always the same. Like all anime just looks the same to me.
You know, there is really big similarities between like every show ever. Like, there's themes of like the underdog and the mentor.
Yeah, they
shows
all have
up
similar
and-
things. And like, here's the other thing. I don't normally judge something by its fan base, but I can't stand the fan
Why
base
not?
behind anime.
I-
Well, like you can't. I don't think you could like. You shouldn't judge a fan because like okay. I like the game Undertale. It is a genuinely good game with great themes and a great story, but the fan base is atrocious. You like Rick and Morty.
Oh yeah.
So do I. But would you like to be judged because of its fan base?
I
No.
mean, people could do whatever they want.
Okay,
but...
yeah, but you don't want to be like. That's why I never like openly say anything about Rick and Morty
Well,
or
yeah.
say that I'm a fan because I don't want to be
Because then it-
meshed with that group of
Because
people.
then a guy in Ross Park Mall in the fucking
Oh my
Hot
god.
Topic.
Okay, yeah, we left out that when we were in Pittsburgh, we went to that Ross Park Mall or whatever, and we went into the Hot Topic, and I picked up this stuffed pickle Rick to be like ironic and be like, "Hey, look, a stuffed pickle Rick." And then this guy comes up, the guy working there, he's just like, can I help you with anything? Blah blah blah. And he's like, just so you know, all of our button ups are buy one get one for $1. It's like even that Pickle Rick shirt. And then he's just like Pickle Rick, and then he just walks away, and I'm just like,
I wish I had.
I'm gonna
gun
leave
in that
now.
moment.
It was so bad.
I wish I could have diffused the situation and saved you from that.
Oh, before we get back to Doki Doki Literature Club, could we talk about how you're really great with people
What do you mean?
in the exchange?
What do you mean?
Where I had to force you to purchase a CD.
Oh yeah.
So we went to the exchange. It's like this movie video game store because I wanted to see if they had anything good. And he wanted to buy a copy of
Little Dark Age by MGMT.
yeah, that one. And we're looking for it, and I find it. I'm like, okay, it's right here. He's like, cool. How do I get it? And I'm like, oh, you just have to ask somebody to open the case for you.
And
And
that's
then
the part-
suddenly the anxiety on him
That-
just like exploded.
That's the part, like in movies, you know how they do the thing where they make the camera go forward, but they pull the field of view back, and then
It starts playing the Kill Bill thing where it's like,
that was the part where it was like it all came out, because up until that point I was like chill, But then like immediately you could see I was like, I don't.
Yeah, I immediately saw it, and he was just like, I don't think I want it that bad. So then we're literally standing in the store arguing about it, and I'm like, I'm going to force you to get this. I'm going to go up and ask somebody to open it for you. And we're like going back and forth. And then this poor guy in a wheelchair comes up to us. He works there. He comes up in a wheelchair. He's just like, hey, do you guys need any help? And, I just look at him and like, yeah, can you open this case for us? And then I don't know, you just looked real pouty at that point.
I wasn't pouty. I was thankful that it happened the way that
You
it
looked like
did.
you wanted to bust out laughing.
Well, I mean, listen, I was just happy that it didn't have to go up and ask somebody. And so I was just standing there, And I was joking around. It was a good time. And I got Little Dark Age, and I already cracked the CD cover.
He wouldn't have got it if I didn't force him to.
If it weren't for you, don't know what I would have done.
Anyway, Doki Doki Literature Club. So it's an anime dating sim. You gotta pick which girl you want to go out with the most. So let me define my experience. I think I was downloading something on my Xbox One.
Team Yuri.
And it was taking for like, I'll get to that in a minute. It took like forever to download. So I'm like, all right, what games do I have on my laptop? Because I have like 2 games from Steam downloaded. That being Doki Doki Literature Club and then Fallout 1. So I have, like, I'm looking at my Steam library, literally just those 2 games, and I'm thinking, like, if I start Fallout 1, I'm not going to stop for the next month. So I'm like, okay, it's been a year. Doki Doki Literature Club's only going to take, like, a couple hours, and I'm like, I'll just sit through it, or whatever. So the game starts, and I'm already ready to kill myself. With fucking... So you're this anime boy, and your best friend is this girl, Sayori, and she's like, I want you to join a club in high school. And he's like, you should join the literature club. And then anime boy is just like, he's like, okay.
He's like, as if. Then he does it anyway.
So then he walks into the club, and then it's like these, he finds out it's just these 4 anime girls. And so anime boy is just like, there are senpai girls?
I hope they all suck my dick at once.
That's pretty much what he's hoping for. And yeah, so you sit in there, and I'm like, okay, this is going to be horrible. So it introduces you to all the characters. And it's like, you got Sayori, who's your best friend. You got Yuri, who's this like nerdy girl.
No, she's the emo.
She was like she wasn't really emo.
She was a nerd emo. She was like me in 6th grade.
She wasn't really emo.
She was pretty emo.
Whatever, man. I don't remember.
She's pretty.
Then there was...
I think I know more about Doki Doki Literature Club than you
Shut
do,
up.
genius.
Then there was Natsuki, which was like a younger girl. She was really fucking annoying. That's all I remember about her. And then there was...
Podcast. Sorry.
Then there was Monika, who was like...
Monika?
Whatever, shut up.
Monika?
She was like the popular athletic girl or whatever. And then like...
She wants some dick.
So then it's like you need to write a poem or whatever. So you need to like to write the poem. You need to like choose whichever words which person would like best. So I'm just like, okay, so I have to choose one of these girls. I guess I'll go for Yuri, the nerdy one.
Yep, Team Yuri.
My God. So then like
you pick all the words that have to do with
So
depression.
here's the thing. I knew the game. Like the game was famous because like it starts out like a normal anime dating sim, but it goes like really fucked up.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I'll do this. It takes way too long to get to the point where it gets fucked up because for 3 days straight in that game, like in-game days, it's just non-stop, just regular like anime dating simulator, and it was the most excruciating experience of my life. They just keep talking about poetry and fucking baking and all this other dumb shit, and oh my God, it was so goddamn excruciating to sit through. Literally, I'm like sitting in the back of my chair just like constantly like clicking my mouse to get through all the dialogue, and I'm like, this is the most boring shit I've ever had to sit through in my life. And I remember the point where I was like, oh, this is where it happens. It was like something about Sayori. Like I had to go to her house for something. Oh yeah, no, I remember. Cause like I did some schoolwork with like Yuri or whatever at my house. So then I go over to Sayori's house to see what she's up to, and like I'm just thinking, all right, whatever, continuous anime dating sim. And then she starts talking about depression and how nothing in life matters, and I'm like, oh, okay. So this is where this happens. And she's like going on, and like I don't know if you noticed, like, I actually started paying attention at this point, but, like, it's, like, taking, like, a real, like, serious look at depression. Like, that's how depression, like, actually is and stuff.
For some people.
Well, yeah, but, like, a lot of people would agree that that's how it is.
Yeah.
And I'm, like, reading this, and I'm like, wow, this is pretty damn serious, and, like, this is actually kind of sad, but it's really fucking funny because while she's talking about all this depression, they're still playing the happy, upbeat anime music the entire time. Yeah, that. As she's talking about how nothing in life matters, and I'm like, oh, Jesus
That's
fuck.
a vibe, though.
This is so fucking
That is a
annoying.
vibe.
Sure.
Unpopular opinion, though, well, at least in this room, I think that some of the writing was really genius.
Oh, yeah, no, I think a lot of the writing is really good.
Dan Salvato wrote, like, the whole game, and he is a genius writer, especially...
I disagree when it comes to the first 3 days, though.
Well, no, here's the thing. Monica's dialogue about writing tips and stuff.
Okay, yeah, I noticed that all of her
Those were
stuff was, like,
fantastic.
relating to, like looking back, you could clearly tell that she knew or whatever.
Well, no, like, not even just that. It's, like, aside from the game.
I think she gave good writing advice at
Yeah, definitely.
times, too.
And I think that Yuri's appreciation for books was, like, really, like, I could get into it. Like, she, like, goddamn, her mind. But no, like, seriously.
We'll talk about her mind in a little bit.
She, like, the way that she so eloquently fucking spoken, like, her love and deep appreciation for literature, it, like, inspired me to start reading again. Like, the way that they wrote that game was brilliant. And I think it was worth sitting through those 3 days. I honestly think it was worth it.
I don't.
I was...
That's where I disagree. That's where our clear different opinions on the thing. Where you think, like, you got a lot out of it. For me, all I got out of it was when it actually got to the fucked up point because I couldn't stand those 3 days.
Well, yeah, that part was fun, too.
So, like, okay, so, like, Sayori starts talking about depression or whatever. So the next day, you, like, talk to her or whatever. And then that's where, like, your first quote-unquote difficult choice comes up where you have to be like, I love you or I think you're my best friend.
I said best friend.
Because one of the reasons, one of the reasons she got really depressed was because she saw how happy you were with those other girls in that club.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, well, you don't need me anymore, blah, blah, blah. So then you have to make the choice, like, the two dialogue options is like, I will love you forever, or you are the best friend I will ever have. And, like, I'm sitting there reading them, I'm like, I know she's gonna kill herself if I pick the best friend one, but, like, I didn't know how to answer that. Like, I don't want to just, like, live a lie.
Yeah, I don't
And I'm
wanna
sitting
lie
there
to
and
her.
I'm like, I'm overthinking this fucking, this is a free Steam game.
Well, no,
or
you
whatever.
were in it. Like,
Jesus
that,
Christ.
the fact that you had trouble with that decision, you
That
were
is
in
true.
it.
Which, that it reminded me of Fallout New Vegas at that point, which I will bring up in a later discussion.
Kill
because I
Easy
love I love Fallout New Vegas. Anyway, so yeah, I picked best friend, and then she was just like, "Wow, this feels like a stab," and I'm like, "You're probably gonna kill yourself tomorrow." So then it goes to her house, and I remember my exact reaction. It's like completely black, and he's like, I wonder why she's not responding. And I'm like, ooh, it's gonna be soap on a rope, all right. And it opens the door.
What? Soap on a rope?
Soap on a rope. Because her hair was like pink, like soap. I don't know. I thought soap on a rope.
Okay.
Whatever, man. But like it like immediately flashed to her hanging from a noose, and my immediate thought was, friend zoned again. But yeah, and it's like she's hanging there, and I'm like, and it starts like distorting the music kind of, and I'm like, oh, so this is why everybody likes this game.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, but then the main player, like, I can't live a life like this, blah, 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 and he keeps going on. And then the game just goes back to the main menu, and I'm like, oh, that was fun. I guess I could stop playing now. And then I noticed, like, something was all glitchy, and I'm like, okay, I guess I have to keep playing this. So then I go in, and this is where my next problem with the game came up.
What's that?
It would have been a lot better if I didn't have to sit through the 3 days of dialogue again.
Okay, I agree with you there.
Because it's literally the same shit again.
I think that was a little repetitive, and I think that the subtle differences were subtle, and that's a good thing, but I don't think...
I like the subtle differences, but the fact that we have to sit through more days of that. But not even, it wasn't even different. It was the same stuff.
It was a little bit of agony.
It was so goddamn annoying.
And the fact that I was subtly discomfortable, the fact that I was a little unnerved and uncomfortable the whole time, and the fact that I knew what I was sitting through again, like, made me so anxious.
Yeah.
But maybe in that way it was effective, but it was just too long.
See, it didn't make me anxious. It just made me bored again. And that was the worst part, because then when the, like, subtle, like, scares came up where she would, like, glitch through or whatever, or the dialogue would go fucking weird, it was just like, oh, wow, I'm so happy. But then the game caught my interest again when we got deeper into, like, Yuri's stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, I remember my exact reaction to, because, like, I kind of picked up that, so, like, Yuri, like, has a thing for cutting herself or whatever, right? And but, like, she's addicted to it, she, like, you know, that stuff. Yeah, and I'm like, I picked up during that because, like, there was the one part, like, earlier in the game where she's in your room and you guys are, like, painting or whatever, and she licks the blood off your finger.
See, I didn't get to that part because the way I played it was weird. I did all this stuff with Yuri until the very last one. That's when I went baking, because I was like...
You went fucking baking?
Yeah, I was like, ew, painting signs sounds boring.
Was there anything different about that?
No, I think it was exactly the same, except...
I mean, was there anything, like, fucked up about it?
No.
Okay.
We almost burned her house down, but...
That's great. Is there anything, like, fucked up about Natsuki? Or is she just normal?
No, she's pretty normal.
I know there's, like, one thing at some point in the game that you could trigger where her, like, eyes will go white and she'll, like, crank her head, like, 90 degrees and, like, come to the screen to attack you or whatever.
I didn't get that.
I mean, I didn't get it either, but I read somewhere. Yeah. Anyway, so, like... I remember at one point you, like, go outside to see what Yuri's doing, and you just see all these, like, cut marks on her arms, and it's bleeding profusely or whatever. And then everything goes fucked up, and you go back to, like, 10 seconds earlier, and I'm like, okay, this is getting interesting again. And there was actually one really creepy part when Yuri finally starts going, like, ape shit. It's like... It goes dark in the room, and, like, her eyes go, like, photorealistic. And I'm like, okay, now I'm getting a little creeped out. This is bothersome.
Yeah, she got closer and closer to you, and
I'm like, eh.
Her
and then,
death, though, that was powerful.
We'll see. I think we disagree again.
Were you laughing your ass off?
Yes, I was.
Because, okay, here's the thing. Sayori's death was really powerful, but we all saw
I thought I really enjoyed her death because, like, it just happens and you just see her hanging there. Here's the thing. If you didn't know it was coming, there's the shock value with that. And even if you do know, like, you've heard about it, like, seeing it for the first time was like, okay, wow, that's pretty shocking. When it happened with Yuri, it was pretty obvious it was going to happen because there's the question. It was like, will you like live with me forever, blah blah blah, and it's all this psychotic question. Obviously you're going to answer no, so I'm like, no, and then she just starts going apeshit. She sticks the knife out and she starts stabbing herself in the gut.
I thought that was like a little funny.
Tell me your genuine reaction as you were sitting there.
She pulled the knife out, and I was like, I knew what she was gonna do. She stabbed herself, and I was like, okay, this is... And then she was still smiling, but she, like, kept going in and out, and I was like, okay. But then she was on the ground, and the weird Zalgo text kept coming up, and I was like, okay, how long is this gonna go on for? And then eventually you have to hit skip unless you want to be there for 15 hours. And
you're still there for 15 hours
and
anyway.
Her body starts to decay, and that's when I was like... Okay, this is actually freaking me out.
Okay, my reaction. When the thing came up, I'm like, oh, okay, she's gonna kill herself. So then she starts stabbing herself profusely, and because, I just started busting out laughing. I'm like, this is fucking stupid. And then you just see her laying on the ground. And I did like how you, like, had to sit there through the weekend of the school, or whatever, and you just sat there watching it. And it's like, skipping through it or whatever, but here's the thing, that took way too long, and I got bored again, and I'm like, yep, Even when she started decaying, I'm just like... Wow.
I was freaked out.
So when is the weekend going to end and I can get on with the fucking game? And that's when the game completely goes off the rails. Because then Monica reveals herself to be, like, aware of what's happening in the game.
She reveals herself to be a werewolf.
Sure. She deletes the character files for the two people. And now you're just like... And I really did like this part, though. You're stuck in this room where she's just staring at you. And, like... It's in a classroom, but you can see through the windows. You're just, like, in a void.
You're in the universe.
And, like, she's just, like, talking and asking all these questions. And she's addressing you directly. Not the player in the game, but, like, you in real life. And I thought that was really cool until it got fucking stupid again. because she then goes on to explain exactly how she deleted Yuri's character file, and it's blatantly obvious she's telling you how to delete her character file. She was like, it was really easy. I just went into the Steam library and then went to this in-game, and she's literally she's like giving me a checklist on how to, like, what I'm supposed to do,
How
and
to
I'm like,
kill her.
wow, you guys are really subtle with this. So I did that, and then all that happened, and then
Can I tell you though?
Sayori did stuff, and I'm like, okay, this is fucking stupid. And then I uninstalled Doki Doki Literature Club from my computer.
Can I tell you though that I didn't pick up on that?
Are you serious? She literally tells you word for word what she even says. It was a little difficult considering you're playing on Steam, but it was really easy. You just go to this, you left click on the game, you go to this, and then you go to this, you uninstall character file, and I'm like, I'd say as an exaggeration she spelled it out for you, but she literally spelled it out for you in the text dialogue.
It's when I went to a walkthrough to get to the end game and I watched the first 2 seconds that I was like, oh, I'm a dumbass. There you go. Sheesh.
Yeah, I immediately just uninstalled the game because I was just so done with that shit.
But guess what? It makes you go through it again. Even like at the end, but without Monica there. But
now
then,
it's Sayori who's
yeah,
like
turns
doing
out
it.
Sayori,
And then Sayori gets deleted, and I'm like, okay, are we just gonna play hot potato?
Yeah.
With the character files now. So then I finally like finished it, and I'm like, okay, I'm uninstalling the game, and I'm never ever touching anything anime related ever again, because not because I was so disturbed, because I was bored out of my fucking mind.
Yeah.
And that's why I don't very much like Doki Doki Literature Club. I think the big problem for me is once this, like, the twist happens, the expectation is broken. The whole, like, gimmick of the game is it's not what it seems, and once it gets to the point where everything changes and you know what it really is, it doesn't go anywhere from that. It's just what it is, and I'm like, okay, well, now I'm just kind of bored. And the road to get there, just to me personally, was such an agonizing ordeal. So.
I got something totally different out of it than what most people got, I think. I got a lot of writing advice. I got, like, a weird chapter of empathy on, like, depression. Like, I understood it a little better, which is weird. Isn't that fucking weird that an anime dating sim gave me more understanding of a mental illness? But you about to play Sad by X when I started talking about depression.
Here, keep talking about depression.
Joe Michael.
Go ahead, keep talking.
This song,
about
not only is this song copyrighted, but he just died.
No. Keep playing. Just keep talking about what you were saying.
I'm gonna talk about the fucking...
I was gonna play Despacito. This song is copyrighted too, but it's better because he's not dead.
I'm getting a flashback of all the dead characters in my head while this is playing. But anyways, I got a lot out of it. I thought the writing was genius. I thought it was a little long, but I survived, unlike some people. Rip Sayori, rip in peace.
Rip literally everybody in that game. They all fucking died.
Yeah.
I find that pretty interesting. How we have, we have two completely different views on the game.
Yeah.
It affected you. I almost fell asleep 3 times while playing it.
That's what you do in literally everything.
No. I play a lot of games where I don't almost fall asleep.
No, it's because they're not anime.
Like Fallout New Vegas.
Listen, I can't stand Fallout New Vegas.
I love Fallout New Vegas. It's one of my personal favorite games ever.
I just save right before I kill Easy Pete and then reload the
game. Okay, but I think there is a difference here, though. Because in Doki Doki Literature Club, I played through everything and experienced the same thing you did. I just had a different viewpoint on it. I played through everything in Fallout New Vegas. You just sat in the town where you first start the game and shot the same old guy over and over again. Can I tell you why, though?
It's because he's the only person I can kill.
Jeez, maybe you thought, maybe I... But you could kill that whole town if you side with the one gang that's threatening them.
That takes too long.
No, it doesn't. You literally go up to the guy, he's like, hey, let's overthrow the town, and he's like, okay, and then you shoot up the town with him.
I don't know, man.
I love Fallout New Vegas to death because The writing is absolutely fantastic. It's hilarious and it explores a lot of different themes. It explores a lot of serious themes that a lot of video games wouldn't. It talks about stuff like depression and rape and like shit you wouldn't expect to find in this kind of thing, but like they talk about it and they handle it very well. One of the quests could involve like there's this one female soldier who was raped by this like psychopath, and you could go several routes of taking it. You could like take her to go get like psychiatric help or whatever, or you can kill the psychopath so then she just gets like thirsty for vengeance or whatever. And there's just a lot of different things you could do. The writing's great, and the morality of the game is wonderful because it's based around your own morality. There's like 4 different paths you can take to get to the ending, and like depending on your viewpoint in life, it could be a good ending to you. Like, you could side with this, like, army of slavers who, like, want to enslave, like, all the women and children in the land, but, like, it will bring complete stability to everything. Or you could side with, like, basically the American government, and technically, yeah, there will be more, like, police and, like, a lot more stuff will be watched over and protected, but there's, like, huge taxes. A bunch of people's lives get fucked up because of it. Or you could become like the second in command for this extremely powerful guy who wants to like keep everybody out of his land, or you could just become like basically the ruler of the entirety of the land. It's great. It's wonderful. It's a great game. Gameplay's fantastic. Writing's fantastic. Highly recommend it. Fallout New Vegas. 12 out of 10.
I like how it shows you that there's no easy solution to anything.
Exactly.
With that.
There's such a hard, like, there were so many points where I was really making, like, hard decisions. Because usually in a video game, you're like, okay, you can make the good decision or you can make the bad decision.
Do you give the
and
apple
it's, like,
to Clementine
blatantly
or
obvious.
do you put it up your butt?
I've been
decisions.
replaying Telltale's The Walking Dead, and it is so good. I'm getting prepped because I believe sometime in August they're releasing the last season for Walking Dead.
Like the show or the game?
The game.
Okay.
I don't give a shit about the show. The
Me
show's
either.
fucking stupid.
The show's bad.
Unpopular opinion. But yeah, no, the game is fantastic with its dialogue and stuff, and I really love what they're doing because have you played The Walking Dead?
I watched someone play it.
Okay, so like you know how the first season's Lee being this father figure for Clementine.
Poor
Well,
Lee.
the last season is setting up the exact same relationship, but instead Clementine is now like the parent figure
Clementine is the dad.
for this child, and like it's heavily alluding that Clementine's gonna get bit like Lee did in the first season, and I can't wait to play it. I really love Telltale's Walking Dead season 1 and 2. Season 3 is extremely disappointing because you don't play as Clementine, you play as some random asshole nobody cares about. And Clementine's like a side character. It's just annoying as shit. You know, it's almost been an hour and we haven't even talked about the main thing we were going to talk about.
I was kind of thinking of a segue when you said season 3 is nothing like the first 2 seasons. I was like, kind of like how Halloween 3 is nothing like the first 2 Halloweens.
So we've decided we're going to start watching the Halloween movies and talking about them on the podcast.
Marathon that shit.
Yeah. And I figured, now I'm bringing this up brand new to you too, but I figured we could do it like each time we talk about Halloween, we're talking about a different timeline. So like right now, we're going to talk about Halloween 1 and 2, which is its own separate thing in the franchise. Then we'll talk about Halloween 3, which is its own thing. Then Halloween 1, 4, 5, and 6. Then 1, H2O, and Resurrection. Then the 2 remakes. Then eventually we're going to also talk about the new sequel coming out, which is a direct sequel to the first one.
Oh.
Yeah. I think it's hilarious that there are 3 movies in this franchise just called Halloween. One's in 1978,
Rob
then another's
Zombie.
in 2007, then another's in 2018. There's 2 movies in this franchise just called Halloween 2. It's like, what's your favorite Halloween movie? Halloween. Which one? The third one. Do you mean the Halloween 2018 or do you mean the actual Halloween 3?
I'm really excited. I don't even care if Halloween 2018 is going to be good. I'm just going to go like for the experience.
I'm genuinely like I'm not sure how to feel because John Carpenter like the only ones he did was the first and second one, and the only reason he did the second one was because basically more money. The studio made him do it, and he was like, I'm not doing another Halloween movie myself because I don't care about it. There's not another story to tell. But with this one, he's like genuinely wants to do it, and so does Jamie Lee Curtis, Laurie Strode's actress. So I'm interested. I'm cautiously excited.
John Carpenter was like, you want me to make another Halloween? I'll fucking blow up a kid with a car. I don't give a shit anymore. You've taken away all of my caution. He did anything he wanted.
I really like John Carpenter. Have you seen any of his movies?
I saw the thing. He made The Thing, right?
He did.
One.
He did The Thing.
He did The Thing!
Technically the remake.
Yeah.
Because there are 3 Thing movies. There's the one from like the 50s. Then there's the 80s one, which everyone knows. Then there's the remake. Blech. It's not actually a remake, though. It's technically a prequel.
Yeah.
And it sucks.
Mary Elizabeth Winstead is in that, I think, and she was in Final Destination 3 and something else that's more popular. But I know.
Wow.
Shut up, bitch. Sorry. I think she's cool. Anyways.
I like Final Destination. But anyways, we're going to talk about Halloween 1 and 2.
Yeah.
So, just for basic, like, background, the first Halloween... 1978, basically known for kind of jump-starting the slasher genre. It's not the first slasher movie, obviously, but it extremely popularized the genre. And then Halloween 2 was made less than a year after that one because
it was so fast.
They like money. For me personally, the original Halloween is one of my all-time favorite movies. So let's talk about that.
Halloween 1 is a fucking classic, and everything that ever happens in it ever is perfect, and you can't change my mind. Just kidding. It has faults, just like anything in this universe.
Yes.
A human, a rock.
Okay, let's talk about the movie.
A dog rock.
Let's just talk about the movie.
I'm talking about the movie. Don't you see the dog rock?
Jesus Christ.
Okay.
Okay, so.
Laurie Strode is his bitch. No, it starts with Michael Myers is his bitch. His sister is his bitch.
Okay, so the beginning of the movie is definitely... a young, I think 6-year-old Michael Myers in his clown costume catches his like older sister
fucking about.
Yeah, with this guy, and he leaves. So
with this Chad.
He murders his sister Judith, and
she has a name.
Yeah, Judith Myers. Did you remember the part of the movie where
Obviously
she
not.
opens up the door and there's 3 dead bodies and a giant ass tombstone on the bed that says Judith Myers?
I can't read.
Jesus
What do you mean?
Anyway. There are a lot of stuff in the movie that I don't think hold up sometimes. Like the one where the beginning of the movie where he's in the clown mask and the arms like going down like and the girl's just like ah.
Also,
it
when
looks
he's
very fake.
Standing outside with his parents and they go, "Michael, what's wrong?" and the camera zooms out
and they don't say
anything else to him.
I do like that shot though of Michael.
It's a good shot.
Standing. There's so many good shots in this movie. Some of my favorites, definitely the one where it's just Michael sitting in the standing in the clown costume, and he's kind of like looking down, like thinking about what he just did, and it's kind of like
he's like, "Oh, I guess
makings of a serial killer," because he's like, you can kind of like imagine what he's thinking about. How he's like, okay, I just killed somebody.
Kill once, you can't not kill again. You just do it again before you die.
And then it's like Halloween night, so many years later, 15 or something like that. And we see Laurie Strode. I noticed one thing, the dialogue's pretty funny sometimes. I started counting how many times they said, totally. Totally.
Her fashion sense,
it's great.
The late 70s fashion in that movie had me
Her
dead.
the classic jeans with the button-up shirt.
Yes.
That's a good look.
We need that back.
I love Jamie Lee Curtis in this movie.
Me too.
But yeah, the reason I like it is because a lot of it has to do with the way it's shot, a lot of the directing choices. There's so many classic shots. I love the one where it's towards the end of the movie. She falls down the stairs, and then Michael's just standing at the top of the stairs looking down with the light behind him, the backlighting.
As we learned in
film study. I
John.
love the one where he murders the one guy who was having sex in the one house, and he goes back upstairs to the girl he was having sex with, and he's wearing... The shot is just him wearing a sheet over his head and has his glasses on.
That's a good
and
one.
It's in the doorway. That's another great one. Again, another one where Laurie Strode opens the door of that house with Judith Myers' tombstone sitting on the bed.
Who's Judith Myers?
Jesus Christ.
I think my favorite character was, what was her name? Annie? Like,
The one.
the pot
Okay,
smoker,
so,
where she got choked out in the garage, or strangled.
yeah. So
She was my favorite character.
it's.
It's fun.
Are you remembering the one part that? So it's like earlier in the movie, she gets like a slight. Let me mind you, these people are babysitting. So like Annie's babysitting this like little girl, and at one point she gets a mess on her shirt. So naturally, she starts stripping in the kitchen of their house. Literally completely nude. She's wearing like nothing but a button up and a pair of socks.
She acted like
and
she
some
spilled
underwear.
acid on herself.
It was pretty funny. And then she gets herself locked in the shed in the backyard. And it's funny because the little girl goes out to the shed and her, like, she just sees the Annie, her body halfway out the window, is like, bum, bum, ba, bum.
Oof. Oh, and what you noticed and I didn't was how in the car, Michael was hiding in the car, but, like, it was the subtle difference of the windows were fogged up.
Yes, because
That was fucking genius!
I remember I brought that up and you were like, what?
In hindsight.
Because like she
Yeah.
got in the window and yeah, the first time she's in the car it's like normal, but the second time all the windows are foggy and then Michael comes in from the back seat or whatever. That was a great part. Another one of my absolute favorite shots in the movie is when Lori is kind of leaning against the wall and there's like, I think she's next to a closet and like in the shadows you can like slowly see Michael's like mask kind of appearing there. I love that.
He's so stealthy.
Yeah, there's just a lot of great things. The music is probably one of my all-time favorite soundtracks. The music's absolutely iconic, fantastic.
It's one of
It
the only
works-
songs I know how to play on the piano.
It
is the
works
theme song.
so well with the film. It's great.
And John Carpenter made it.
Yeah,
That's-
John Carpenter makes most of the scores for his movies.
That's really inspiring to me that you can like do that if you want.
Yeah. And I love the ending to the movie too. I love everything about the ending. So, basically, like Michael's standing in the doorway, and Dr. Loomis, his psychiatrist, comes up, shoots him out the thing, or whatever. And then Dr. Loomis. So yeah, Michael falls off the second story of the building onto the ground below. Dr. Loomis goes over to Laurie Strode to like talk to her or whatever.
That was the boogeyman.
And like, and I just love this whole like even the line exchange. She's just like, "What is the boogeyman?" or whatever, and he's like, "I'm afraid you've already met him," or something like that.
The boogeyman is.
And
my
then he
porn
goes
name.
to look out the window, and he's not there. And then the Halloween main theme kicks in, where it's like, "Da-na-na-da-na," blah blah blah, and then like it's just a bunch of Oh, he's doing it. Hold on, don't start playing it until after I already. Is it on? Okay, hold on. And then.
Oh, sorry.
And then he goes out to look out the window, only to realize Michael's not there. And then the main theme kicks in.
Fuck. Can you rewind?
Okay. So the Dr. Loomis goes out to the balcony to go look at Michael below, only to realize he's not there. And then the Halloween theme kicks in. And then that theme keeps playing as it goes to a bunch of different shots around Haddonfield, the city where it takes place. And as this theme is playing, you hear Michael's heavy breathing over it, like he could be anywhere. And the final shot of the movie is the Myers house, where the first killing took place. It's such an amazing ending, and I love it. And I just love the original Halloween so much.
I know what an octave is.
And then less than a year later, Halloween 2 was made. Can you do Mr. Sandman with that?
Mr. Sandman. Sorry. Yeah.
So Halloween 2, I think the story behind this is that the studio made John Carpenter make another one. So it came out in 1979, just about a... Are you trying to finger the piano?
No, I'm changing the program.
That's not how you do it.
Sorry.
So anyway, Halloween 2. Electric Boogaloo.
That's my favorite movie ever.
So Halloween 2. Now here's... Oh, hello?
Wow, we're just getting a smorgasbord of annoying noise.
Oh, 8 dead after tourist boat capsizes in Missouri's Table Rock Lake.
I love that song. Table Rock. Why'd you get a? What is that? What news?
I don't know. Anyway, So, Halloween 2.
Can I write a jingle for us?
Halloween 2 is like DLC for Halloween 1.
Oh yeah.
Halloween
Especially
1
because you have to pay for it.
Halloween 1 to me had a perfect ending and had no need for a sequel. Its ending was ambiguous and that's the way it was supposed to be. So then Halloween 2 comes out because the studio made John Carpenter, do it, and it's like, I don't really want to watch this. But even though it was completely unnecessary and it was a significant downgrade from the first one, there were still a lot of things I did enjoy about it.
Like the kid exploding.
We'll get to that, okay?
That was the funniest thing in any
So,
horror movie
I
I've
really
ever
enjoyed
seen.
the directing. So the movie's literally, the beginning of the movie is the ending of Halloween, except minus the heavy breathing and the theme.
And it's from a different perspective.
Yeah, pretty much just a lamer version of it.
No, I thought it was cool that you could, like, see him fly off the balcony. That was pretty fun.
Well, yeah, but, I mean, still. It literally replayed the ending of that movie.
Well, yeah, we had to sit
even
through
from the
that.
chase. So it's basically now, okay, we got to figure out where the hell Michael is. And one thing I noticed that I really like to point out, I don't know how fucking long a night is in Haddonfield, Illinois, but it took so goddamn long.
46 hours.
It had to have been like 5 hours, and there were still trick-or-treaters out and still people shopping or whatever. But anyway, so Laurie Strode gets rushed to the hospital. And in this movie, it's revealed that Laurie Strode is actually the baby sister of Michael Myers.
Yeah.
Which came out of nowhere. It was like blatantly obvious. They just put that there because, they wanted some reason why Michael was still chasing Laurie.
Family ties, am I
It
right?
wasn't built up whatsoever in the first one. So, the entire movie takes place in a hospital. I'll say that.
You can imagine how entertaining that is. This isn't Grey's Anatomy.
And it's
people.
also really funny because the hospital has a very, very large working staff of about 12 people.
Oh, more like 6.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's less than 12 people in this movie. So like most of the time while they're all in the hospital, Dr. Loomis and like a police sheriff are going around town trying to find Michael with varying results of success. So
Most of the time, none.
so there's one point where there's, trick-or-treating going on, mind you, and there's Michael Myers walking around with a Halloween
Michael Myers
bag.
straight up bumps into a kid.
Michael Myers is walking around with a trick-or-treat bag, and Dr. Loomis is like, there he is! So he pulls out a gun and starts, like, chasing Michael down. Now, here's the funny thing. This definitely Michael Myers looks at him, and he's like, uh-oh. So he starts walking away briskly as this guy with a gun chases him. And then in the greatest scene in any horror movie ever, a police car rams into this guy, smashing him against a van, and then a giant explosion happens, killing Michael Myers. Well, then they take him to the morgue, only to find out, oh, it's not Michael Myers, it's just some teenage boy. They fucking murdered a teenager by ramming him into an exploding van, and nobody ever talks about it. It was just some kid wearing a Michael Myers mask, and they just completely murdered the kid. It was like, oh, it's not the real Michael Myers. Let's go find the real Michael Myers. Completely ignoring the fact that he just murdered a teenager. And it's really funny, too, because it's literally a gigantic explosion.
Oh, it was massive.
Like,
I think their first dead giveaway should have been the fact that the kid was running away.
also holding a Halloween trick-or-treat bag.
Well, yeah, Michael Myers doesn't run.
Michael Myers doesn't run, no. So we're in the hospital, and the characters that you need to know about are Laurie Strode. That's it. There's this creepy ambulance guy who's really perving up on Laurie Strode.
The Afro man.
Afro Jack or whatever his
Afro
name was.
Jack.
So a bunch of people get killed. There's some great kills. There's the one with the couple in the hot tub, and Michael turns up the heat and then murders both of them.
Michael makes it hot, boy. It's getting hot in here, so take off all your skin.
One of my favorite scenes is where Afro Jack walks into the one room to see the one nurse lying dead on the bed, and he's like, oh no, she's dead, and then he slips on blood and gets knocked out.
And at that point we were all like,
So most of this movie, well, not most, but a huge chunk of this movie is Laurie Strode getting chased by Michael Myers in a hospital, and there are a lot of parts of it I like, but it just goes on for way too long. I really, really like the shot of Michael Myers like walking down the hallway or whatever. I thought that was great. There's like little things there that are pretty cool.
Yeah, it wasn't all bad. It could have been 40 minutes long though. Was the thing.
It was 40 minutes long.
Wasn't it an hour and a half?
Something like, I don't know. I'm pretty sure. Oh, the movie?
Yeah.
Oh, the whole movie itself. Yeah, it was like an hour and 20 minutes. It was a struggle to force. We had to force ourselves to watch the movie.
Yeah, because there was no way I was not watching it chronologically. I don't care if it doesn't matter whatsoever in the rest of the story. I have this thing where I have to watch it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yeah, even if the third one isn't even really a Michael Myers movie.
Exactly, but we have to watch it next.
So anyway, basically, they just get chased throughout the hospital. Then Michael Myers gets trapped in a room with Dr. Loomis and Laurie Strode.
And you know what
And
happens then.
they stab his eyes out. And so he's like swinging his knife around because he can't see anything. And I guess they're in a room
I
with
can't see.
flammable gas, and Laurie Strode escapes.
Laurie Strode farts on the gas and she lights a match.
No, I'm pretty sure Dr. Loomis lit the match, blowing up the room and killing Michael Myers along with himself. And I really do like the ending of this movie too, because the movie ends with like the final shot being just Michael Myers' corpse, his mask like burning from a fire as the Mr. Sandman song's playing over. It's like,
Mr. Sandman,
Mr. Sandman.
hand me a sand. Boom, boom,
I
boom,
really do like that ending.
boom, 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 boom.
And that was supposed
Boom,
to
boom,
be
boom,
the
boom.
end of the franchise.
Boom, boom, boom,
Because
boom.
Michael Myers was technically dead at that point. And that's the way they were going to go with it.
Boom, boom,
But then they made 27 more movies featuring 13 different timelines, several video game appearances, including Dead by Daylight.
John
and
Michael's favorite game of all time.
not my favorite game of all time.
favorite
but
game of all time.
One of my favorite games
Second
of all time.
favorite game of all time.
Maybe not
Top
second.
5 favorite games of all time.
Yes. He
Got it.
also appeared in a Call of Duty game.
What? Really?
Yeah,
Which
it was a
one?
DLC for Call of Duty Ghosts, and it took
Oh,
place on this
Ghosts?
like map called Fog, and like there was like a specialist thing where you could get a care package and it had a chance that you could play as Michael Myers. So you ran around as Michael Myers killing people with the Halloween theme playing.
Oh, that was probably a reference to the game that everybody made up. You know, the one where people would go like,
Dude, let's play Michael Myers, and like one person had the
Oh
ballistic
yeah,
knife.
I love that. I have so many good memories from Call of Duty.
That was fun. I remember when I didn't know how to play it, and I was in a party of 12 people, and
How did you not know how to play it? The rules were so simple.
Because it was the first time I played it, dipshit.
Did you just run out and try to stab Michael Myers?
No, I ran out and shot everybody.
You
With
just
an
had guns. in it?
HK-21.
Nobody else. You're running.
was in Black
is
Ops.
hunting Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, Black Ops 2. Oh, I love Michael Myers in Black Ops 2. It was so much fun.
I just have really good memories of Black Ops 1.
I have good memories of Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, and MW3 because I played them a lot when I was younger.
You know, I
7th grade and 8th grade year. Ooh, it was a lit time.
I kind of wish I didn't grow up with Call of Duty because I feel like it stunted my creative growth. Because all the games were the same.
Yeah, I noticed that because I'm like going out now. Like it was funny. Like while I was waiting for you to finish cleaning your room, I started playing Call of Duty. I think it was Modern Warfare 1's multiplayer, and like I'm sitting there playing it, and I'm like, this is kind of dull.
Does anyone play that?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's not the one from 2007. It's the remastered one from last year.
Oh.
But like I'm playing and like I'll do that. I'll go back to Call of Duty and try to play, and I'm like, I do remember though Black Ops 3. I played like a good large amount of, and I already pre-ordered Black Ops 4.
The fact that there's 4 of them
Yeah.
gets to me.
Well, it's pretty weird what they've done because I love Black Ops 1 and 2, including their campaigns. I have really nostalgic memories of them, and I enjoy the stories and the characters. Then Black Ops 3, its campaign had nothing to do. It takes place in the same universe, but the campaign had next to nothing to do with the first two.
Black Ops 3 farted.
There's like one mention of the villain from Black Ops 2, and that's about it. It was an interesting story, but like it was like all about like cybernetics taking over human minds, and you like go into the minds of different players, and like there's one point where you're like in this like cabin in the woods fighting zombies. It's pretty fucking weird.
I only played Call of Duty for the zombies, and that's the truth.
Zombies is
I can give myself.
love zombies.
I'll give myself credit for that because they tried to tell more interesting stories, but then they.
The zombie storyline is way more interesting.
No,
than
they did a fucking cop out at the very end. Remember when they were like, "Oh, it was a it was made up the whole time.
Well, yeah, but you didn't play Black Ops 3. Because Black Ops 3 leapt off of that.
Oh.
Yeah, Black Ops 3 completely continued that storyline. Well, here's the thing.
Fuck my ass, right?
Okay, I'll get to that in a second. Let me finish talking about the campaign. Black Ops 3 had nothing to do with anything. And then Black Ops 4 isn't even going to have a campaign. They replaced it with... Drumroll, please. Battle Royale.
Oh, shit. Damn it. There we go.
Yeah, which, like...
fucking duh, because that shit sells. And of course, what's their faces? Treyarch, Infinity, Butthole.
Activision.
Active Butthole.
It's not really Treyarch's fault. Treyarch is just making the game. Activision, the publisher's like, hey, you guys want to put some Battle Royale in there?
You guys want to make Fortnite, PUBG, Darwin Project Part 30,000?
And, like, here's the thing. Like, at first I was like, wow, they're not putting a campaign in. That's pretty lame. But then I'm like... 20%, only 20, this is a true statistic from across like PS4, PC, and Xbox, only 20% of people actually play the campaign for Call of Duties nowadays.
That's the stupid thing, because they try to tell a story with that, and people just want to kill each other.
Yeah, but they gave up on the stories too. Like, I remember the last good one, in my opinion, was Advanced Warfare, told a pretty interesting story. That had good characters.
About Kevin Spacey.
It's hard to enjoy now because of Kevin Spacey. It's funny, too. There's one line in the game where it's, like, towards the beginning, and, like, Kevin Spacey is showing you around their compound, and he's like, it's a great area. There's a middle school down the road. And it's just like, ugh.
Unfortunate.
Call of Duty Ghosts had a terrible story, though.
Call of Duty Ghosts was shit.
It was the whole story behind Call of Duty Ghosts was like, okay, so here's what's happening. You're playing as a white guy with his white dad and his white brothers, and
missiles.
No, here's what happens, and South America takes over the world, and like I'm sitting there and I'm like, ¿por qué? I'm sorry, can you say that again? South America takes over the world? Like, Call of Duty was pretty crazy with, like, Russians taking over the world, Germans in World War II. They started going on about, like, Muslims and terrorists, and, like, there were some, like, Argentinians in Black Ops 2.
Sounds like my grandpa.
Because they were resistance leaders. But now, literally, just all of South America is invading the world. I was like, how exactly does South America... And it was funny, too, because, like, you ask these questions, like, okay. So, for whatever reason, South America wants to attack us for whatever reason. Probably our wonderful...
Our trees.
Sure,
they don't have oxygen.
They don't.
They cannot breathe.
Well, no, here's the other funny part. It's like, okay, I'll buy. South America wants to invade us. Why? How did they do it? Oh, here's the thing. They hijacked our orbital death weapon.
That shit's dangerous, though.
So South America, all united under one name, got into space, hijacked our death weapon, bombed everything, and now they basically rule all of America.
And that's where Seinfeld starts. The acclaimed comedy, often called A Show About Nothing, with famed characters.
Anyway,
Jeremy Seinfeld.
So let's talk about
Gorby Glusthofen,
Call of Duty Zombies.
Mr. Man, and Dumb Bitch. Call of Duty Zombies? Oh, classic.
Call of Duty
Classic
Zombies.
video
I have
games.
so many good memories with Call of Duty Zombies.
Keener der Toten, I started on the Wii. It was the only map
I started on the Wii as well.
It was the only map you could play. I remember me and my Wii friends would be like, one of these days they're going to let us play Ascension. Never did. Had to get an Xbox.
Nope.
And it was so much fun.
So, I love the story behind Zombies. Well, I love the storyline in Zombies, but I also love, like, the making of it, too. Because the original Zombies, Nocturne on Toten for World at War,
yeah,
that was, like, a bonus mode they added on, like, very late into the game-making process.
Like, they were just fucking around.
They were like, hey, wouldn't it be funny if there were zombies? Wouldn't it be funny if there were Nazi zombies?
That'd
and
be
then now,
fucking
like,
stupid.
it's literally half the reason people even buy the games anymore.
Yeah, it's the reason why I bought all the way up to Black Ops 2. When I heard the concept for Transit, I was fucking floored, but everyone hates it.
Transit sucked.
Do you think so?
I think it gets a little over-hate, but there's a lot of stuff I don't like about it.
Yeah.
Like, if you lose your perks, you have to go all the way back around the map to get them. And, like, you can't
fun.
go... And, like, you can't... If you run into the fog, you constantly get face-fucked. You can't make it half the time because you need Juggernog, and if you lost Juggernog, you can't run across half the lava pits.
Mm-hmm.
It's just... There's... a lot of annoying stuff. Also, opening Pack-a-Punch is the most annoying thing ever.
Oh yeah, they fucked up Pack-a-Punch.
There is a lot of stuff. I do enjoy riding the bus, and like I've had so many. I have so many great stories just by riding that fucking bus. There were times where like me and my friends were like, the bus is completely overflowing with zombies. There was one time where like my one friend was just screaming, and I was on top of the bus, and I'm like, "What's going on?" And I jumped down, and there's just like a shit ton of zombies in the bus, all crowded up. Fucking, oh, it was
You
great.
know, maybe I don't like transit. Maybe I just like the bus.
I think you just like the bus.
I think I just like the bus. The bus
Yeah.
was the best part. Fucking love the bus.
Yeah, I think transit gets a lot of hate.
Yeah, it does.
That is undeserved. But yeah, there's so many great maps. There's so many. I really enjoy the storyline, even though it's completely convoluted and fucking all over the place.
Yeah, who cares? But here's the thing here's what I really love about what they did was like the theming of the maps was really good, but only really in the early ones because
I disagree.
You think so?
Yeah.
You don't. Well,
Did you play? Well, you didn't play Black Ops 3.
No.
Black Ops 3 has some of the best maps. And did you play Black Ops 2?
Yeah.
Did you play the DLC for Black Ops 2?
I played Die Rise, and
Is that it?
that's the furthest I got.
That's the worst one.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Because literally, like, two of the very best are the ones that came right after that.
Damn.
So,
Well,
okay.
here's the thing, though. I have a weird thing with my brain where I like to associate colors with things. Like, I'm obsessed with it. So, like, fucking Nocturne Toten is that gray shit. Verruct is that yellow shit. Shinonuma, that green shit. Darius,
Blue.
that blue shit. Kinder Toten, purple, maybe.
Red.
Red, purple. In that
Reddish
wavelength.
purple.
Yeah.
Sure.
And then after that, it's a blur.
Okay, so
what
let's...
was after Ascension?
I know this... Okay, so...
Shangri-La was rainbow.
What? Okay, sure. Well, okay, no.
Moon was blue again.
No, you're all... Okay. So we got Nocturne Toten.
Yeah. That gray shit.
Which is, like, you can't really, like, fairly judge that map because it was just, like... There were, like, 3 rooms, a mystery box, and that's all you had.
It's a classic.
It's a
like-
classic
it's
because it was the
Psycho
very first
to
one.
the rest of the horror movies ever made.
Sure.
Psycho.
Psycho stands up, though. Nocturne Toten doesn't so much. It's still fun to play, though.
Shut your goddamn bitch.
Okay,
ass.
whatever.
You
So
can't
then there
open
was
2 doors,
Verruct.
never mind.
Verruct introduced perks and traps.
Yeah. I never use traps. Ever.
There are some times where it's like, if you want to get to high rounds, you got to use certain traps.
Yeah.
And then,
The Shinonuma trap was fucking
Shinonuma.
funny.
The flogger.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun. Shinonuma introduced mud, and I hate mud
there's
in
a
the zombie
siren.
games. Oh, no.
Maybe they can't hear.
Then there was Darius,
Yeah.
which is one of the best.
It's. Yeah. Top 3.
I mean, yeah.
Top 3.
It's one of my favorites even, but like even the community like ranks it above the highest.
Yeah.
Then there's
Kino
okay, so
der
then we get into Black Ops 1. First map, Kino der Toten,
I
one of
know
my
that
favorites.
map like the back of my
So
fucking
do I.
hand. I can memorize the entire layout right now. You start in the lobby. There's 2 doors. There's
Yeah,
one
I know.
on the stairs. There's one up the
I could do
stairs.
it too. I could do most of the zombie
Maybe
maps.
not everybody can.
I'm a zombie veteran. All 7 are. You know what? People probably stopped listening by now because they
I
don't
took
give
the
a shit
one-
about the zombies.
I don't give a shit if they stop listening. I took the one that always went up the stairs. I always went. That
Everybody
way.
does that because it'd be
Yeah.
dumb to go downstairs.
Yeah, and so you keep going to the MP40 room. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. Why would you not go that
Get
way?
the MP40 and the stakeout.
And the stakeout.
The stakeout is so
Hello.
good at killing dogs.
Hello.
Oh, it's great.
Hello.
I also,
Okay.
but like
Max
also,
ammo.
but like one
Alright.
of the best things to do in that is train on the stage, and if you open up the door from going downstairs, it fucks up the training. So
Yeah,
anyway,
exactly.
we're gonna like try to speed run through these maps now. Okay, so there was Kino der Toten, then we got 5, which
I forgot about 5.
I like 5. It also came with the game on launch. You just had to like secretly unlock it.
You also couldn't do it on the Wii.
Yeah, you can do it on the Wii.
Fucking bullshit.
It was great because you could play as 5's cast of characters. This was when Call of Duty got a little wacky. I mean,
Yeah.
it had like funny stuff before, but this was kind of going overboard. Where you could play as fucking McNamara,
Yep.
Castro,
Yep.
Richard Nixon, and JFK.
John F. Kennedy.
That was great. Playing as JFK killing zombies is.
That's my JFK impression.
So then there was also Dead Ops Arcade, which doesn't really count.
I had fun, but it doesn't count.
I had fun too, but it doesn't count.
Doesn't
So
count.
then the first DLC we got was Ascension. Again, one of the all-time classics in the zombie community.
Abracadabra is an objectively good song. The Easter egg
yeah.
song. I forgot.
I
about
love the
those.
Easter egg songs.
Death is magic, say abracadabra.
Again, Ascension's a
now.
classic. Introduced PhD Flopper, one of the fan favorite perks.
I remember the drums to that song.
Then there was then they did Call of the Dead, which introduced. That was the first one where you
Avenged
played.
Sevenfold. That's how I found out about them.
That's-
No, that's not true. Anyways.
That's where you played as first time you got to play as like where they got like big name actors. Because there was Robert England, from of course Freddy Krueger, Sarah Michelle Gellar, Danny Trejo is awesome, and then Michael Rooker, yeah,
He was fun.
they were a lot of fun, and I think that's the first time they really had an Easter egg to do. No, I guess technically there was an Easter egg in Ascension.
Yeah.
There was an Easter egg in the first like the huge Easter egg when they started, because they do Easter eggs every map now. The first very big one was in Shangri-La.
Yeah.
That one, I remember.
That was balls.
I vaguely remember because I was like 10 or 11, but like that, people trying to figure out that Easter egg was like huge.
Drove people insane.
And then Moon came out, and Moon was monumental.
Moon.
It was huge in the story.
Great times.
Such an amazing. I remember I did the Easter egg to that. I was 13 and it blew my mind. No, I wasn't 13. I was like 11 or whatever. And it blew my mind because it ends with like Earth getting blown up. And like once you finish the Easter egg, it like starts playing Nightmare by Avenged Sevenfold and you get all the perks on the map. It was such an amazing
Memories.
And then going back to Earth to see it all undestroyed, that was a lot of fun. So then we take a break because Modern Warfare 3 comes out.
Fuck.
Then we get Black Ops 2.
Yay.
Which was
The bus.
people were like ready for more. This is when like people were like ready for zombies.
The bus.
And then Transit came out and everybody hated
The
it.
bus came out.
People didn't like Transit.
I love the bus.
I remember I liked Transit because it was the only map I could play, but I still enjoyed it. I think Black Ops 2 is probably my favorite zombies out of all of them. So then the first DLC comes out, and that's Die Rise. I fucking hate that map.
That's shit.
It's completely vertical. You're like climbing skyscrapers all the time. It's so easy to fall off the map. It's annoying as shit.
I never got killed by zombies. I always fell.
The Wonder Weapon I love, though. The Liquefier. It shoots the purple goo and the
They
zombies just
slip.
sled. It's probably one of the best Wonder Weapons.
Where'd you get that thing?
Okay, so you said you stopped after this?
Yeah, what came after
Oh my
that?
god, you're missing out. Okay, so the next map after that was Mob of the Dead.
No, I did play that one.
Okay,
I just forgot
I'm
about
pretty
it.
sure Mob of the Dead is like, in like the perspective of like zombies fan and the zombie community, is like the best map.
Oh, wow.
Mob of the Dead. I love Mob of the Dead. It's my personal favorite map.
Wait, can't you win that one? Can't you
Yes.
escape? Yeah.
Because there's a finishable Easter egg in that one, yeah. And it's great too because it's not related at all to the storyline.
No.
So then, after that, the next DLC was Buried.
I stopped at Buried.
Yeah, Buried. It kind of has negative perception because it's extremely easy.
Oh.
But the other thing too was that was the last Easter egg that had the different like transit crew, because for Black Ops 1 and World at War you played as the 4 main zombies characters, which were Tank, Richtofen, Takio, and Nikolai. And like they're fan favorites. Well, in Black Ops 2 they didn't show up to the last DLC. You played as the transit crew, which was
Guy who voiced Robin from Teen Titans Go.
Oh yeah, Marlton. He was like a nerd. Then there was the girl Misty, who was like a tough fighting girl. Then there was Russman, the old black guy. He was so funny.
I don't remember.
You don't remember
any of the people?
And then there was the other guy whose name I'm not remembering, but he was like he could hear Richtofen's voice, and he was like kind of he was the one character like the Easter egg was based around. But yeah, Buried. You don't remember? You didn't play Buried at all?
No.
It had a witch's house.
Oh.
Like, yeah, it was this house you could go in and, like, these witches would, like, chase you down and they could steal your money. And then you go into this, like, giant...
That just sounds like New Orleans.
And then you could go into this, like, giant hedge maze to get to Pack-a-Punch. I enjoyed Buried. Then Origins came out.
Is that the one with the robot?
Yes.
I
the
love
3 giant robots. It's in a World War I battlefield. This was another gigantic one for several reasons.
Cool.
You could play. It had the original crew, but they were like younger versions of themselves. It basically
my name is Nikolai.
introduced the new timeline to zombies, and the big thing was the ending cutscene, which was monumental.
Monumentally.
It ended like it was like a young child Samantha who was like playing with toys of the characters.
She put them in her pussy.
No, that's not what happened.
Oh.
Anyway, it was like this young child playing with toys, and everybody just thought, well, like, what? So this was just a child's game the whole time? And then Black Ops 3 came out
Wrong.
several years later because they had to do 2 games in between Black Ops 3. So then Black Ops 3 comes out, and I know you didn't play Black Ops 3 Zombies.
Nope.
So the very first map is Shadows of Evil, and I love the map because it's like a 1920s map. And again, it got like big name actors. It got Ron Perlman, Jeff motherfucking Goldblum, Daddy, of course, and then also Heather Graham. I love the map. It's one of my personal favorites.
What year did Black Ops 3 come out?
2015.
Oh.
So the storyline for this one is like the main crew needs to go and capture like the souls of the older older versions of themselves, so they can like end the timeline where all the zombies come through or whatever. There's like significantly more than that, but this is like the layman's version. So it also shipped with a remade version of Doris called The Giant.
Oh yeah,
which looked really nice.
English.
And then so the first DLC map was Der Eisendrache, the Iron Dragon.
Cedar Point.
Sure. That is also very highly revered in the zombies community, I believe.
The roller coaster is too.
It's very fun.
I love the roller coaster.
Then there was Zetsuba no Shima, or Island of Despair, I believe.
Fun.
That one is the hardest zombies map.
I thought you said you didn't watch anime.
Shut the fuck up. It's like the hardest zombies map. Then there was Gorod Krovi, which took place in Stalingrad. It was fucking awesome. That's one of my favorite maps too. City of Blood, I believe, in Russian. Also, I didn't mention, but all the Black Ops 3 ones have like ending cutscenes. Like you keep playing after the ending cutscene, but they have ending cutscenes and they have final bosses.
Oh wow.
So like the one in Der Eisendrache was this like giant, almost like a wizard. Not really a wizard, but like I don't know how to describe it to you without like you knowing what's going on in the story. But then like Zetsuba Nishima was like a giant tree.
Oh.
Monster thing with Takio inside of it. And then
Get him.
final boss. There were 2 final bosses in Gorod Krovi. Gorod Krovi introduced a fucking dragon. Let me add that in too, because you could like fly dragons around the map.
What the fuck?
Yeah. You like use the dragon to get from one point to another, and also one of the special weapons was like a little baby dragon that like you could put on your fist and like shot like fire at, and you can punch zombies with.
You could fist a baby dragon and make it shoot fireballs.
Sure, but the final boss was a dragon, and then like the old Nikolai in a giant robot mech suit.
I'm interested.
Like you need to check it out.
I completely missed all of this.
Yeah, dude, you need to check it out.
What was I doing in 2015?
We were sophomore year of high school.
It's a blur.
My entire 2016 was taken up by Black Ops 3. And then the last map was Revelations, which was technically supposed to end the zombies storyline.
Just like Friday the 13th, the final chapter ended Friday the 13th, right?
So now Black Ops 4 is coming out. They've already shown off a map that has the original crew in it. And it's a remake of Mob of the Dead.
It's Tank's house, and his mother is making dinner.
I'm actually very excited.
But a zombie finger is inside the strudel.
Sure.
They need to extract the zombie finger. Elena Siegman comes back.
Yes.
And she... Oh my god. We've been talking so long that my monitor went off.
Why is it not coming? Okay, there it is.
It
Okay.
takes a second.
So anyway, yeah, but they're making like 4 new zombies maps. One's the remake of Mob of the Dead. Then there's another where it's like a gladiatorial death match where you use melee weapons to fight zombies. We don't know much yet. The 4th one we don't know about, but the main one is it's 4 new characters chasing after like this artifact that, you know, causes zombies to spawn. But the map takes place on the Titanic. It's so fucking like it was so good. I was watching the trailer for it, and then it's panning up, or like you see them all fighting zombies on a boat. Then it hits an iceberg, and then it pans up, and you see like on a thing it says RMS Titanic. Or like, oh, that's fucking awesome.
My favorite line from Titanic is, "Not even God could sink this ship."
That was easy.
It's all a lie.
All right. we've been recording this episode for an
Yeah, you went on
hour
a
and
fucking.
40 minutes.
You went on a trip down memory lane.
I love zombies,
I
dude.
was riding shotgun.
That was like...
You were driving.
That was memories,
You were
man.
pointing at the houses, and you went, "Look, that's where."
That's Garad Krovi.
And look,
That's about no sheep. Oh, you know what I didn't talk about at all was how they tried to do zombie spin-offs and other ones. Like Advanced Warfare had its own zombies mode, and Infinite Warfare had its own zombies mode. I will talk real quick about Infinite Warfare. Listen, just because it was kind of fun, because all the zombies maps were based around different like genres of movies. Like the first one was completely it was completely 80s themed.
Oh.
It was called Zombies in Spaceland. The aesthetic was all 80s. It's all neon lights. It has David Hasselhoff playing 80s music the entire time. This storyline wasn't serious. It's like separate or whatever. It wasn't serious at all. It was, completely movie based. Then the second one was Rave in the Woods or whatever. It was all 90s rave, neon lights and shit.
Shit.
It was actually
Drinking
really
glow
funny.
stick fluid, club kids.
Yes, pretty much. Kevin James was in
cocaine, fucking ketamine.
it. Then the next one was Shaolin Shuffle. It was like 1970s kung fu movie in like New York.
Those seem like the most interesting to me.
And then
Like this whole thing you're
the
describing.
next one was what was it? Oh, it was like Attack of Mutant something or whatever. It was like a 1950s monster
50s.
movie. And then the last one was like a sci-fi based thing.
So were these like really tiny maps, or were they?
Oh no, they were huge maps. They were like full-fledged zombie maps.
Oh wow.
It's just that like it's Infinity Ward zombies, not Treyarch zombies.
Okay, so they did it a little different.
Yeah. I
That's
still
fun.
think Treyarch's is better, but they were like
Yeah.
fun to play. I think the final boss out of all of them was literally the devil,
Oh,
Mephistopheles.
Cuphead.
Yeah.
Mephistopheles. That's a cool name.
That's the devil's name.
You can't name your kid that though, probably. Not for at least 200
I
years.
could. I just named him right now.
That was easy.
All right, so this is our longest episode.
Wait. Can I get roaring applause or just like one clap? Hold on. Where don't do anything.
That's a clap sound. He's looking something up right now, so I will bring the conversation back to the wild animals. Save the animals.
How dare you? Sorry.
Okay, this has been Yamtalk.
Outro
Writing
music.
it right.
This has been Yamtalk because
You
we're
can't
all.
do
I'm
that.
sorry. I'll play a different one. Because we're all sad. This is another X song though.
Oh my god.
Actually, this is a sad boy hour song. I can't listen to this or else I'm gonna become a sad boy. I'm even wearing my sad boy crew t-shirt right now. Alright, no, we're gonna play sad music because our episode is finally ending, and they need to be sad that it's ending. This has been Yamtalk, and you're not going to be able to hear us for like another week or 2 weeks until the next episode comes out. Hopefully by then we'll watch Halloween 3, and right now we could actually watch that one movie I told you about,
Yeah.
Romina, if you want to. This has been Yamtalk. I'm gonna go home and kill myself now, just like Yuri, and Sayori, and Natsuki, and Monika.
Your brain has stopped working, and that's the truth. I'm the only sane person left in this room, and this has been Yamtalk. Thank you for tuning in.
I love you, Natsuki.
Yuri, Team Yuri.
Oh, I have the mouse.
Turn it off.
Alright,
Yellow button.
yellow button?
Yes.
Okay,
Yellow button.
thank you.
Bye.
Bye.